All good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kennedy, do you mind just saying your name really quick for a mic check?
Kennedy.
Okay, thanks.
All good?
You might do more talking than
Okay,
I think
go
so.
ahead, fire away.
Tori, we can start with you. Obviously, sort of a tough start to this game. It felt like you guys were playing from downhill the whole rest of it. Some things to be encouraged about, I'd imagine, kind of battling back, but how are you thinking about this one right away?
I feel like if we played the second half like we played the first half, I think the outcome would have been different. I know turnovers in the first half really got us down into a deficit, so moving forward, taking care of the ball is going to be a big focus so we don't get in deficits like that.
Kennedy, strong effort for you. Just take us inside that post-game locker room and how you guys are feeling after this one.
Honestly, after with the outcome of the game, of course there's some frustration, just knowing that there's been a lot of time spent in becoming more so confident in being in that post position, but also how much encouragement I have gained. But even with that outcome, I can still look back at moments where there are times where I could be proud to an extent, if that makes sense.
Tori, coming off a big-time win on the road against Boise and coming into this one, just the ups and downs of everything. You've been here before, you've been through college basketball a lot. What is it going to take to make sure, this low doesn't get too low in the next couple of days?
I think the biggest thing is just to learn from our mistakes and not make them again. You win some, you lose some, but now that we've lost this, we need to key in on the mistakes that we made and make sure that we don't take them into the next game.
And Kenny, when y'all were slowly coming back in that second half, y'all were really crashing the boards at a high rate. Is that just effort on your part, or from a collective standpoint, what was going into just crashing those boards so hard as a team?
I think being in the situation that we were in for the second half and then comparing it to the first half, I think at some point we just had a show of heart that was lacking in the first half. Like Coach says, we have to buy in. We have to always display effort, and crashing the boards is a choice. And I feel like in the second half we did choose to crash the boards more in comparison to the first.
Tori, in the past, Coach Levens has said that she wants consistency from this team. Big win at Boise, let down today. Where does this team need to find its consistency?
I think our biggest thing is making sure we are consistent on stopping key players. Going into the game, we knew two was going to be a problem, and she had way more than she needed to. So making sure consistently that we are playing the defense that we want to play, and also we're running offense. I think turnovers really stopped us from getting the shots that we wanted. So just consistently taking care of the ball and keying in on defensive players.
How are you coming along, Tori, and kind of being reinserted into the rotation? And it felt like your game got better and better as this game aged on. Where are you at right now?
I feel like coming off the injury, I'm getting more and more confident in my shot, looking to score more, trying to get my teammates the ball, just making sure I'm facilitating and being a leader that I'm supposed to be.
Kennedy, you mentioned crashing the boards. What can you guys take from that second half and try to apply it, looking for a full four-quarter game next time out?
I think just effort. Really, I feel like, especially in the first quarter, we didn't display effort enough, just in the way that we allowed ourselves to fold under pressure, or not, for instance, calling plays or our rotations on defense. And so I feel like if we were to take that effort that we display with rebounding and put it into every other aspect within the game, then that consistency that you just talked to Tori about will improve.
Anything else? Okay. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All good?
Think so.
Okay, fire away.
Amanda, hard to say this one was won or lost in the first quarter, but it kind of felt that way because it felt like you guys outplayed them the rest of the way.
Yeah, we just dug ourselves too big of a hole, and I think the way we started, they got in a great rhythm and played extremely confident and shot the ball, probably the best they have all year and maybe will all year. They're 8 for 10 from 3 in the first half. That's like the best gift ever for a coach, you know what I mean? But we did a poor job defending their motion screens, and they were wide open. And so, kudos to them for making us pay for that.
I guess it might be somewhat encouraging that you guys just didn't curl up into a ball, and you did play a lot better in the second half. What can you take from that second half?
Well, I just think our team's capable of more, and for them to be able to compete like that for 2 quarters, it's disappointing in a way, because if you can do that in the second half after you've played a whole half of basketball, you can definitely do it in the first half. And so we need to start better, and we need to be ready to play from the jump.
With as many young players you roll with, Coach, how much do you lean on older players like Victoria to get you through these times and make sure you can get back in the win column?
Yeah, I mean, Tori was a huge bright spot for us, and we've been kind of waiting for her to find that game rhythm with her shooting, and I think that came back tonight, so that was a huge bright spot. And she just brings some veteran leadership at the point guard position and things that we're looking for. But even with that, I think she's just going to get better each game that she plays back with us.
How would you describe the effort on the boards tonight? It seemed like they really had their heads on fire, especially in that third quarter.
Yeah, I thought in the second half it was fabulous. The first half, I think you could go down the list with everything that was wrong. But in the second half, it was fantastic.
I can imagine you want more out of Audrey and Claire. It just felt like they weren't in much rhythm tonight, and obviously Air Force has something to do with that, but I know you guys are going to go as they go, really.
Yeah, it's tough it's tough because usually when one of them has a really good scoring night, it's just easier for our team. And something I think Audrey is going to continue to need to grow in is people keying on her. When she gets somebody on the side, everybody's coming to help. And now what is my next decision versus getting too deep and getting a turnover or forcing a bad shot. And that's just something that comes, with maturity, and she's got to grow and evolve into. And as coaches, we got to keep helping her with that and helping her learn and grow in that situation.
I guess ultimately, how do you feel like you guys can improve off of playing a team like Air Force, which is plenty scrappy, obviously was a beatable team, but they make things really difficult for you on offense?
Yeah, I honestly thought we prepared well in practice. We talked a lot about this stuff and tried to simulate it. It's never going to be quite as good. And as coaches, we got to do a better job getting them ready to go, and whatever we were doing, it wasn't enough because they didn't come out ready to play, and we got to be better.
I guess getting ready to go back on the road, what's going to be the emphasis ahead of SJSU?
This conference is tough overall. I think every night, and you saw the scores tonight, like anybody can win, and it's tough to win on the road, and we need to be ready to play. San Jose State is much better, than they were a year ago. They have some really good players. They have inside post players and really good guard play, and so it's going to be a tough game for us, and we need to be ready to go from the jump and not dig ourselves a hole and try to play from behind on the road.
Kennedy did do a lot of good things down there in the post, and it felt like she was gaining some confidence. What can you say about her game as a sophomore?
Yeah, I thought she played great and demanded the ball, and I thought we missed her a ton too. She had small guards on her at times, and we didn't have our eyes up and make that pass. She only took 8 shots, and she probably should have taken like 16 or 17. And, our passers, whether they're posts or guards, they need to see that mismatch and get her touches when she has it going like that. And I think for our team, we're not always very aware of that. Like, that person just scored, let's go back to them and get them another touch, and getting that feel of the game. And that's something I think we can grow in.
Anything else?
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you guys.